You are 32 years old, standing in your kitchen at 7:18 a.m., staring at your banking app like it has personally betrayed you. The coffee maker is making that angry little bubbling sound. Your phone is at 12% and your direct deposit just arrived. 6 figures. $100,000 a year. The number used to sound mythical, like the salary of someone who owned matching towels and knew what a deductible was. But now the money is here sitting in your account for about 8 minutes before life starts forming a line outside the door. You remember when $100,000 sounded like escape? Back when you were making $42,000, you told yourself everything would calm down once your income crossed that magic line. No more checking your account before buying groceries. No more sweating when the car made a sound. No more pretending the cheaper haircut was a style choice. You imagined peace. You imagined breathing room. You imagined opening the banking app and not feeling your stomach quietly leave your body. Then you got the raise. And somehow, your life got upgraded faster than your savings did. The paycheck looks good at first. Really good. After taxes, insurance, retirement contributions you barely understand, and a few deductions with names that sound like government side quests, the deposit lands. It is still more money than you used to make. You look at it and feel proud for approximately 11 seconds. Then the rent comes out, then the car payment, then the credit card, then student loans, then utilities, then the phone bill, then groceries. Your paycheck does not disappear. It gets professionally escorted out of the building. The rent is the first big bite. You moved into a nicer apartment after the raise because you told yourself you had earned it. And maybe you had. The old place had thin walls, a mysterious smell near the laundry room, and a neighbor who practiced bass guitar like he was trying to communicate with whales. The new apartment has big windows, a gym downstairs, a package room, and a kitchen island that made you feel like a person who hosts dinner parties. You do not host dinner parties. But the island is beautiful, and beauty costs $2,150 a month. At first, the apartment feels like proof. Proof that you are moving up. Proof that the hard work meant something. You post one picture from the balcony, carefully angled to hide the parking lot. People comment things like goals, and you deserve it. You like every comment, you do deserve it. That is the dangerous part. Deserve is how lifestyle inflation enters the house without knocking. It does not feel like recklessness. It feels like finally becoming the person you were supposed to be. Then comes the car. You were tired of the old one. It shook at red lights. The dashboard had more warning lights than a small airport. So you walked into a dealership with the confidence of someone making 6 figures and walked out with a payment your old self would have reported to the authorities. The car smells new. The screen is huge. The monthly payment is $690 before insurance, gas, maintenance, and the emotional cost of parking far away so nobody scratches it. You did not buy transportation. You bought a rolling reminder that success has a subscription plan, but you can afford it. That is what you keep saying. You can afford the apartment. You can afford the car. You can afford the nicer groceries, the better gym, the weekend trips, the clothes that do not look like they gave up in the laundry. And technically, you are right. Nothing is collapsing. Bills are paid. The lights are on. The fridge has food that requires actual recipes. This is not poverty. This is something stranger. This is being broke with a good salary, which feels embarrassing because you cannot explain it without sounding irresponsible. The credit card makes everything look smooth. Too smooth. Dinner goes on the card. Gas goes on the card. Flights go on the card. The small purchases go on the card because they are small, and the big purchases go on the card because you need the points. The points become a tiny casino in your pocket. You spend $300 to feel like you earned 7.40 in rewards. Every month you promise to pay it down. Every month life adds a little seasoning. A dentist bill, a wedding invitation, a birthday, a random Thursday where takeout feels medically necessary. You are not living wildly. That is what makes it annoying. You are not buying yachts. You are not ordering champagne with sparklers. You are not funding a secret llama farm. You are buying normal things. Rent, car, food, insurance, gas, subscriptions, a few dinners. A trip because you are burned out. A gift because someone you love had a milestone. A hoodie because your brain needed a treat. The trap is not one giant mistake. The trap is 1,000 reasonable purchases holding hands. At work, people think you are doing well. You have the job title now. You answer emails with phrases like circle back and let's align, and somehow nobody stops you. You sit in meetings where people discuss revenue, growth, projections, and budgets. Then you leave work and check your own budget in the parking lot like a raccoon searching through financial trash. You help the company manage money with confidence. Your own money looks at you like, are you sure you work here? Your parents are proud. Your friends think you are stable. Your younger cousin asks for career advice. You give it because technically you are qualified to sound wise. You say things like, keep learning and negotiate your salary, and don't be afraid to move jobs. All good advice. All true. But you leave out the part where your savings account has less money than your couch costs. You leave out the part where one emergency would turn your confident little life into a group project with your credit card. One Friday night, you go out with friends. Nothing crazy. Just dinner, a few drinks, maybe rideshare, because parking downtown is a punishment invented by people who hate joy. The bill comes. Everyone splits it evenly. You smile. You are not going to be the person calculating who had the extra appetizer. You're a 6-figure adult now. You tap your card. It goes through. Of course it goes through. That is not the same as being fine. The next morning, you open your banking app. The number is lower than expected. Not dangerous, just disappointing. Financial disappointment has a specific flavor. It tastes like cold coffee and self-awareness. You scroll through the transactions and nothing looks insane. That is the worst part. Every purchase has an alibi. Groceries, gas, dinner, insurance, streaming, rent, loan payment. Another streaming service you forgot you had. Your money was not stolen. It was slowly convinced to leave. You try to make a budget. You open a spreadsheet. You create categories. Housing, transportation, food, debt, savings, fun, miscellaneous. The miscellaneous category immediately becomes a crime scene. You start assigning numbers and realize your lifestyle has been voting without your permission. The apartment votes, the car votes, the credit card votes, the subscriptions vote. The person you are trying to become has been outvoting the person you can actually afford to be. For a few days, you become financially religious. You cook at home. You cancel one subscription. You move money to savings with the confidence of someone who has changed forever. You watch a video about money habits while eating leftovers from a container that makes you feel morally superior. You are back. You are disciplined. You are mature. Then the car registration arrives. Your friend announces a destination wedding, and your laptop starts making a sound like it is trying to leave this world. This is the first rule of making more money. The raise solves old problems and introduces richer ones. When you made less, your problems were obvious. Rent was too high. Groceries were expensive. The car was unreliable. Now the problems were nicer clothes. You have better things, but they all need feeding. Better apartment, better car, better social life, better expectations. You did not escape pressure. You upgraded its furniture. You start noticing the quiet shame of earning well and still feeling behind. It is not the same shame as being broke. It is more confusing. You feel guilty complaining because you know people making less are struggling harder. So you say nothing. You make jokes. You call things expensive in a playful voice. But inside, there's a small, tired accountant whispering that if you lost your job, the beautiful apartment would become a countdown timer. One night, you calculate your emergency fund. You have enough for maybe 1 month, maybe 2 if you become a monk who lives on rice and cancels happiness. That number sits in your chest. You make $100,000 a year, but your peace is funded month to month. The salary is real. The safety is not. That is when you realize the difference between looking successful and being secure. Looking successful is visible from the parking lot. Security is invisible until something goes wrong. You decide to fix it slowly, not dramatically, no big speech, no sudden transformation where you become the kind of person who enjoys saying meal prep. You start with the leaks, the forgotten subscriptions, the random online orders, the dinners you agreed to because saying no felt socially expensive, the car washes, the convenience fees, the upgraded everything. At first, the cuts feel small, almost insulting, but small leaks can sink expensive boats too. The hardest part is not math. It is identity. The apartment feels like proof. The car feels like proof. The dinners feel like belonging. The clothes feel like catching up. Every expense is attached to a version of you that wants to be respected, admired, comfortable, normal. Cutting back feels like admitting you were pretending, but you were not pretending. You were adjusting too quickly. You let your income grow, and then you let your life chase it down the street. A few months pass. You do not become rich. Nothing magical happens. But the panic gets quieter. You start seeing money before it disappears. You begin giving dollars a job before your emotions can hire them for nonsense. Your savings account grows slowly, boringly, beautifully. You pay extra on the credit card. You stop treating available credit like available money. That one hurts because available credit is very good at wearing a fake mustache and calling itself freedom. Work feels different too. Not easier, just less terrifying. When your manager sends a vague message asking to chat, your soul does not fully leave your body. You still care about the job, but the job no longer feels like the single rope holding your life above a pit. That is what savings does. It does not make you fearless. It gives fear a chair instead of letting it run the meeting. You also learn that earning $100,000 is not one lifestyle. It is a doorway. You can walk through it and build breathing room, or you can walk through it and immediately rent a more expensive cage. The salary does not decide, you do. And that is annoying because it means the problem was not only the economy, the rent, the taxes, the car, the loans, or the price of eggs. Those things matter, but so does the speed at which you let comfort become normal. 1 year after the raise, you sit in the same kitchen again, same coffee maker, same phone, same banking app. The number is not enormous. You are not suddenly wealthy. But for the first time, it does not feel like every dollar already belongs to someone else. There is space now, not a mansion of space, more like a small, badly decorated room where your future can sit down for a minute. You still make $100,000. The difference is that the number no longer has to perform magic. You stopped asking income to fix habits, identity, loneliness, convenience, and social pressure all at once. You stopped confusing affordability with peace. You stopped believing that a better paycheck automatically creates a better life. More money can help. Of course it can. But if every raise becomes a new payment, your income is not building freedom. It is just giving your stress better furniture. You close the banking app and look around the kitchen. Nothing dramatic has happened. No applause. No cinematic sunrise. Just a normal morning, a half-full coffee cup, and a life that finally feels slightly less rented from your own paycheck. That was the dream all along. Not looking rich. Not impressing people who only see the balcony photo. The dream was opening your account, seeing your life clearly, and realizing your money was no longer disappearing to prove you were doing well. It was staying to prove you were finally okay.